Hello, hello, and welcome back as I furrow my brow in consternation down in the confusing caverns of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And I don't record these or play with the webcam because, by and large, I feel nobody ever should be exposed to my face. It is a hideousness that it is my burden to bear and observe on a daily basis, but other people should not be exposed to it if they can avoid it, so I don't do that. But if I did, right now, you'd see me sitting here with the exact same expression as Kristen Stewart had in every single scene of every single Twilight movie. And you know the look I'm talking about. You know, the one where her eyebrows come together very slightly and the corners of her mouth turn down just a little bit. And you can't tell if she's confused, afraid, hungry, or just, like, very gassy and trying really hard to not shit herself or fart. Yeah. That's the look, and it's on my face right now, because I'm struggling to figure out what to do. We have a team that could go into the Darkest Dungeon. I just don't feel like this team is well suited for the first layer of the Darkest Dungeon. We've got some shuffling issues, and this team is not really well equipped to handle those shuffles. Hicks has got some movement abilities, but the rest of the team, not enough. Now, we could counter that, I think, if we just had one more shuffler in there. What I'd like to do, I think our first team dungeon run needs to include our little grave robber here. I think we go with Dwayne, Sophia, Caitlin, and Padme. That's going to be our team. But in order to do that, Miss Pelletier here, the undead princess, has got to get her shit together and get up to not only legend rank, but to level 6. So what we need then is a team that can go in and do a little EXP in. And that's exactly the team we're going to try and find with the other tools that we've got. So, let's see what's on the menu this week down in the dungeon, shall we? I don't want to kill the siren. I really don't want to kill the fulminating prophet either. The dodgy sheath is useful. I like +8 dodge. I like +2 speed. We don't really use range skills. Deeds are still potentially useful. That's a short mission, though. I'm looking for something that's maybe a little, like, going to give us a little more bang for our buck. Unfortunately, the only other thing it looks like is to go and fight the Swine King. I don't really want to do that. Also, I don't have any abominations, and I have no plans to get any, because I think they're real shitty. So, we could either go and try and mess with the Fulminating Prophet. Do we have a team that could kill the Fulminating Prophet? The Book of Saint... No, why would we mess... Why would we risk people's lives? This is the question. All we're looking for is EXP. That's all we want. Why risk somebody's life to go mess with the Fulminating Prophet when, all things considered... We don't have to do that. Oberon, what you have? Okay, you have vertigo. That's no real big deal. So let's put together. Sophia definitely has to be on the team. Russell Franklin could do some healing. We wouldn't mind getting Russell up to max rank. We got Trinity available. We got Primrose Everdeen. You know who we haven't had on a mission in a while? We haven't had old Jack Dawson out in a piece. Let's get Jack Dawson into the mix here. We do want to get Lori Grimes leveled up as well because I just love Plague Doctors, but she's very close. I don't really feel like we need her right now. We could use a little more EXP on Franklin because Trinity is also a little bit ahead of the game. The Brodies as well, but somebody's got to heal this shit show. If we take Russell Franklin, no. You know, he's a little bit behind Prim, Nicholas, and this is a short mission, so the gap, maybe the short mission is a good thing. Maybe this is just the perfect opportunity that we need to get a couple guys sort of caught up. Yeah, let's do this one. Mostly because, you know, it's in the easiest layer of the dungeon, and it's pretty unlikely that we're going to wind up getting someone killed. That's the main problem. So, Brawler's Gloves, this gives away 3% crit, but for an extra 25% damage, I always feel like it's useful. And then I think we're just going to couple that with the Lepers. Yeah. So we have bonus, what, 40% damage? That's pretty good. Crusader, nothing fancy here. We've got our Crusaders pretty well figured out at this point. They're going to be taking the Crusaders' orders, and typically the Commander's orders. Although, you know, do we want the Commander's orders if our goal is to not be in position 1? Maybe we don't. It does give us a bonus to our healing skills, but is that what we necessarily need? Maybe that's not what we want. We should take the thing that gives people bonus stress healing. Not going to be fighting a lot of Eldritch. It's going to be mostly Unholy. Plus 25% stress healing. Do we have anybody who has a little bit of a stress problem? You know what? We do have somebody who has a little bit of a stress problem. So we're going to give you the Ancestor's Scroll. And I think we will give you Genia's head. Now, I know this makes you take additional stress damage, but all things considered, with the extra healing, our goal is to try and get your stress reduced a little bit. What do we want to give, then, to little Sophia? Well, we've never really gone wrong with just stacking her up with the Grave Robber's Talisman and giving her a bunch of dodge. Bonus speed, bonus critical in the first round, I do like. That gives us a strong chance to throw criticals at stress units, because Sophia is going to hit first and hit hard. Or would we rather just give her something with more speed and damage? Maybe we just go speed and damage instead. If we really wanted to get crazy, we could give her Dismas's head, but then we're looking at some serious... You know what? No. I was going to say we're looking at some serious stress issues. I don't think we necessarily are. It's okay. Let's do that. And we're going to go Crescendo Box. Sure. Anything we can get that gives us a little extra damage is fine. So everybody has trinkets? Are we all betrinketed? Everyone is betrinketed. We're rocking some weird trinkets here on Jack Dawson. But as far as stress relief goes, Dawson can take care of himself. We do want to make sure Sophia has the Snuff Box ability, so we can get rid of possibly one or more of these diseases. Let's get provision and get this done then. Just a little bit of EXP is all we're looking for on this run. No camping, which, you know, is always unfortunate. I'm going to take more food than I ordinarily would. I think just 3 shovels is probably acceptable. Anti-venom, sure, we'll take one. 1 bandage. We've got a medicinal herb. We're going to take... You know what? We'll take 1 key. I'm going to take 2 holy waters, though. And then we're just going to take 12. You know what? Let's splurge on torches a little bit. We're going to go with 14. Sophia is the key. If we get Sophia to legend status, I think we got a really good team to go into that first layer of the dungeon. Mostly because the Shuffling Horror does... the Shuffling Abomination, I don't remember what it's actually called. Shuffling Horror, I think. Has a shuffle attack, and the last time we did that, that shuffle attack very, very nearly cost us. I mean, that's the last time we succeeded. I think we actually, in our last playthrough, took us 3 shots to get through that first layer of the dungeon. We had a very difficult time with it. We know more now, so we know what to expect. Hopefully we can get through it this time on the first try, and more importantly, without losing anybody, because we got a limited number of troopers we're allowed to execute on this run, and we've already lost more than I'm comfortable with. Was not going to lie, I was hoping for that speed and critical to pay out right there. Nice dodge from Russell Franklin, though. Let's go for the Jacques. It's going to get us 1 kill, soften that guy up, and if Dawson can get off, we got 2 more kills coming back to back. We do not have really any tools at our disposal for this, but hey, 7 damage is 7 damage. Can take a little Grave Nibble. A dodge, though. Another Grave Nibble. Man, these guys hate Russell Frank. The man is unhittable, though. Look. He cannot be touched. He cannot be slain or harmed by mortal weapons. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and Toxin Trickery. Pete, why Toxin Triggering? Well, we can let Jack Dawson get the kill here. All I'm really looking to do, let's put a little debuff on you, is try and get some stress relief out of Wash. Exactly, because we got the bonus stress relief trinket. Let's take advantage of that bonus stress relief and get rid of some of Franklin's. Sophia with huge dodge after the Toxin Trickery, and now for... Wow, what a wallop. 26 damage, Jack Dawson. How come you didn't put the smack down on Billy Zane like that, though? Could have saved everybody a lot of time and trouble. Instead of letting him handcuff you to a pipe, you would just whacked him in the face with a giant broken sword. Now, you know what? We don't touch books. Darkest Dungeon has taught us our lesson. Books are things to be avoided. This gargoyle has blue eyes now. He's like that weird kid from A Christmas Story. He had blue eyes. He had blue eyes. Was hoping for the critical and instant kill there. Did not get it. Flurry of Claws, just a little bit of damage. That's fine. These boys can take it. And what else we can take? You did not get the kill, Russell Franklin. I needed you to finish that person off. I needed 1 more damage, and you did not give it to me. Now we got to take a serious stress attack. That's going to suck. You know what? Go for the Jacques. Let's see if we can set up Jack Dawson for the double wallop when he eventually gets his turn 2,000 years from now. Well, there goes all the stress relief we did has been undone. Thanks for undoing all my good work. We did set up Jack Dawson, though, for the double wallop. Eldritch Pull. It's way better to get hit by a stress attack, even if it does pull us, which it did. Never mind, it also is a stress attack. Beautiful. Well, we're not taking any more of that shit. Lash of the Tail. 2 damage, a stun, and also a push, I believe. That's fine. Let's just undo some of that unfortunate stress we have found ourselves the victim of. And you know what? Let's hack at these corpses and get them out of the way. Good God, Jack Dawson's hitting hard as a train. Toxin trickery? We could, and you know what? Yeah, toxin trickery. We are going to, I think, let's throw a little heal here. I'm going to try and lawyer out a turn or two, see if we can get a little additional stress relief. Don't get stunned, though, Wash. Moving is fine, just don't be stunned. I need you doing stress heals here on my boy. You got to patch up my Russell Franklin for me. He's having a bad day. Didn't expect Dawson to be able to get the kill given the protection on those guys, but Dawson's overwhelming firepower actually got the job done. So we are scouting. What do we got? Hallway fight and into an empty room. Sarcophagus, I think, is a shovel. It's not. This is one of the ones you just opened. Never mind. Hidden treasures. What do we got? Okay, stuff. Do we still need heirlooms? At this point, heirlooms, I mean, we don't want to say no to them, but we're a little probably more interested in gold. I think our coffers have gotten a little bit lower than I'm comfortable with recently. This surprise is going to end very badly for these guys. A little bit of solid damage there. We're going to get a nice little abyssal artillery, which got a kill. Then we're going to go, I think, for the Jacques and see if we can't set Jack Dawson up for the double wallop, which we got close. Blanket fire is nothing to worry about, especially when it just flat out misses. Comes a slice and dice. A little bit of damage there. It's all right. We can take it. The critical, as long as we didn't get stress on our boy, I'm all right with that. Knife in the heart for this man. Gonna get a little bit of that stress back. Yeah, we sure did. Uppercut slice. All right, 3 damage for Dawson. That ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Get Russell Franklin a little bit of heal there before the shark chews him in half. Speaking of heals, let's drop one on Wash as well. Turnabout is fair play. We did get to bleed, but still we're going to have a huge net gain. We'll withstand for the stress relief. This guy will get to take another shot at us unless we beat him on a speed roll, which we did, and hit him with the pick to the face. Fight's over. I'm sorry it didn't go better for you. Well, you know what? No. Never mind. I take that back. Those brigands, they got what they deserved. That's the fate of the Highwayman. Haven't you ever heard the song The Highwayman by Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash? How did Chris Christopherson wind up in that? I mean, I know, like, back in the day, Chris Christopherson was, like, a big deal in country music, but why? Why did you make what made Abraham Whistler a country music sensation? How the hell did that happen? We're exploring 90% of rooms on this one, which means we're going to ultimately wind up doing some backtracking. It's fine. On a smallish mission, we can sort of afford to full loot it anyway. I'm going to throw this bandage on the floor on somebody right now. You know what? No, I'm not. I was going to say, somebody's about to say, Pete, you could have just used that bandage, save yourself the trouble from the bleed, and instead you wait and now throw it on the floor. You're right to criticize me. That's a bad move. I'm going to keep the bandage and just eat the food. Keep our light level up tippy top. 78, still above 75, which is the magic number. And we got some empty rooms here. So far, so good. This dungeon feels, it's felt pretty smooth. This team, they got some pop to them. Well, now, this is the mother load of loot. We're definitely going to have some stuff wind up on the floor after this one.
The match is struck. A blazing
we can't really afford to waste any torches, but what we can afford to do is get rid of that. We get rid of that anti-venom, also that medicinal herb. We take the ruby, we take the sapphire, we take the emerald. We take the bust because we can, and the onyx, sadly, I think we leave behind. No, you know what? We throw the jade on the floor and we take the onyx instead. Net gain. Got an empty backpack. Oh, nope, this one actually has loot. 125 gold and a Darius Rucker's journal? No, it's just blood-soaked pages. The only blood I care about on those pages is the blood of Darius Rucker. Because if I have access to the blood of Darius Rucker, should the worst happen and fair Darius perish from this mortal plane, I can fucking resurrect him Jurassic Park style. I can make my own zombie Darius. We're looking at a lot of stress in this fight, and I don't like it even a little bit. 19 already for Wash. We can probably get that back. You know what? Mark this man. It's the most useful thing we could do. You'd be like, Pete, you could have gone for a stressful... You could have gone for an abyssal artillery and probably got... Okay, yeah, fine. That would have been useful, too. And it's, in fact, probably what we should have done, objectively. 14 damage. We're still racking up the damage here. Gonna take a little bit of a rend. Rend is fine. It's the one attack this guy has that does not do stress, so I'm totally cool with that. That's gonna be a kill with 4 extra damage on the ghoul. Jack Dawson's bleeding a little. Don't give a shit because he just cut the ghoul right in twain. Cut him into 2 chunks, and both of them looked like Mark Twain. It's the greatest slice of all time. That really played hob with our torchlight, though. I think we're going to have to risk a little bit of additional dark. There'll be no blood left for the leeches. Quit your whining, Dawson. You're fine. 50 extra gold. We're going to have to take a little chance with some of our light levels here. Because, again, torches are, you know, at a bit of a premium. We're 1 short. All right. We're going to burn 1 more. Cap the light. Step in here. And we're going to have to try and walk all the way back over this ground we've already covered. Well, this really sucks. Alright, so Dawson is in a position of nigh unto complete and total uselessness because he doesn't have a single thing that's going to work from that deep in the ranks. We could go for aggregate damage here, or we could go for the try this. You're supposed to be getting bonus damage on... Never mind. I was going to say you're supposed to be getting bonus damage and bonus critical on the first round, but now I'm remembering we didn't actually give you that trinket. So, I take it back. Pete, how come you didn't have that guy move? Well, actually, they're just going to say we could move here, but this will do us no good. We're going to have to pass that turn. Because I really want to Holy Lance and kill one of these guys. We screwed up. We should have had Russell Franklin step back. Them's a bump in a night. How come we don't get to go double around when we surprise the enemy? When the enemy gets surprised, a lot of times they just get to take 2 turns in a row. How come we aren't getting in on any of that sweet action? That's what I really want to know. Why am I denied the goodness? Just kill him. I want to get out of this fight as quickly as possible. The best move there, just go for the instant death hit.
So too will resistance.
You know what? See you in hell, Key. I'd rather have busts. Let's restore our party order, though. What's in the unlock? Strong box, just a trap. Jack Dawson, he doesn't give a shit about the blight. I mean, he's a leper. He's already sort of as blighted as he can get. Oh, Pete, quit stigmatizing leprosy. Okay, fine. Wait, is it not okay to stigmatize leprosy? I think it's okay to stigmatize leprosy at this point because the antibiotics have developed to a point at which now if you are afflicted with leprosy, either you live in like an underdeveloped country where healthcare is not adequate, and I feel sorry for you, and it should be a stigma attached with letting lepers roam around because that shit is totally curable. Or alternatively, you live in a developed world where you would have access to the kinds of antibiotic agents that could just straight up cure leprosy, and for whatever bizarre reason, you choose not to take them. So at that point, you know what? You're a leper at your own discretion. That's deciding to be a pariah. We're right to shun you, the rest of society. Don't promote leprosy. We don't want to get Jenny McCarthyism going. Jenny McCarthyism.
Waiting to be spent.
I may have just coined the term. There was regular McCarthyism, you know, Joe McCarthy in his search for like the Red Menace back in the early turn of the century. He was a big like anti-communist propaganda sort of thing. Jenny McCarthyism, same thing applies except for like vaccines and, you know, knowing about how science fucking works. We don't want any Jenny McCarthyism here, though, deciding that vaccines are the cause of a disease they clearly don't have any real relation to, and convincing people that they're a bad idea. Not that. Don't let Jenny McCarthy resurrect leprosy. That's a disease that should stay gone. I really don't feel like these guys are ever going to get a chance to do anything. 7 damage from our Abyssal Artillery, followed by a 28 damage critical knife to the heart. We don't have to worry about taking any stress then. And Jack Dawson may be able to just straight up kill these guys. So we're going to go for stress relief. Nice critical. Didn't straight up kill him, but got pretty darn close. If we take a little bit of damage and some bleeds here, it's fine. As long as we don't get critical, nobody's going to mind. Did not get critical. We'll do a little more stress relief, too. Why don't you go ahead and heal? Jack Dawson's a little beaten up. This will probably... Oh, it didn't enhance his bleed. I'm surprised. Go ahead and murder this man. There's no reason to let him linger. He could beat us on a speed roll. Who's got the most stress? Still, we want to go for Russell Franklin at 29. I think we're gonna maybe let this guy roll for a turn.
Unnerved,
Unbelievable.
balanced.
Every time I get rid of some stress, I wind up taking it back in the most absurd fashion. Well, you know what? The damage is done. This guy ain't gonna critical us again, so now we are gonna straight up farm stress relief. He's not gonna get us twice. Do a toxin trickery just in case he decides he wants to take a shot at you. Wash. You're gonna probably stress relief yourself at this point, although we did only gain a net of 3 with our last stress relief.
We require only the strength to follow
It did not get criticaled. We are getting a pretty hefty stack of bleed on us, though. Franklin gonna go for the total heal. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go one more turn. We're gonna get rid of some stress there. That makes our leper nigh immune to damage with 64% protection, and effectively, we got nothing to worry about from a stress perspective anymore either. Let's see if we can get one more out of Wash. Go ahead and mark this guy. This does do damage, so it makes it look like we're sort of attacking. Who's in the worst case scenario? It's still Russell Franklin. We got the crit with the bonus! 15, hell yeah, that's the same as getting an encouraging off at a camping. And now we're gonna murder this man. Jack Dawson, please end this man. I know you have so much blood, but it's fine. This is really like the last room we have to do in the dungeon should we choose to do it. And hey, you know what? Double plus ungood. Got a bandage there. There you go. That food too. Also pick up that gold. We're on our way to the final fight. Y'all are gonna be alright. We still have holy water, so purify. This gives us big stress relief. Wash, do this. Ritual relieves the hero, and your stress is gone. No muss, no fuss, just like that, stress goes out the window. It's like we just took a nice Calgon bath oil. We just bathed with Calgon. Calgon, take me away, and it totally took away our stress. We could go try and disarm this trap and interact with this one curio, but I think we would take more stress for backtracking over ground we've already covered than we would stand to gain by anything we might find down here, so we're done. Back to the hamlet. And what I really want to see here, give me my EXP. We also picked up a dodgy sheath, which I think we may already have, but still is respectably good. Not an unreasonable amount of cash and prizes either. 11,000 in gold. Considering what we had as an outlay for this mission, we didn't have to buy any skills, we didn't have to buy any trinkets, we didn't have to do any upgrades. 11,000 in gold is a pretty respectable haul, and we picked up some much needed heirlooms as well. So Franklin's very close to the cusp of leveling. We got Eldritch Slayer, which is actually really good. It replaced Steady. That's an objective upgrade. Bonus accuracy, bonus damage versus Eldritch. That's fantastic. Picked up Beast Slayer, which replaced Early Riser. You know what? Yeah, also excellent. An objective upgrade. Warren's Tactician, just we gained, so definitely an objective upgrade. Mercurial is not a problem really for an occultist because they already have basically 0 virtue chance. We got bonus speed, which replaced Eagle Eye. That's bad. Eagle Eye was bonus crit. And we somehow picked up the Og. Minus 10 damage, minus 3 speed, minus... Okay, so Franklin is going to have to... This is it. He's got to go in and get these diseases taken care of. The man is swimming with parasites and other... It's just... we got to handle this. All right, Franklin. You're sideline, dog. Take a seat. You got to get these diseases fixed, man. You got too much. Get rid of the Og, and if your vertigo goes along with it, that'll be fantastic. Bradshaw, what disease have you got? You got scurvy. It ain't the end of the world. Vitamin C will fix it right up. Got some vertigo there on Washburn. We could probably fix that. Lori Grimes has got the runs. We'll take Lori on... We could just take her in on a mission if we want to get rid of that. Any other maintenance that we really need to do? Who's looking kind of shady on the stress department? Not really anybody. I'm feeling pretty good. Our next goal is just to get... We got to take Sophia back in the dungeon. That's our next plan. We just got to keep her rolling along like one of those caissons from that song. We got 45 in cash and prizes. We did pick up... Did we pick up enough for any, like, much-needed upgrades? Blacksmith deeds, we could reduce the cost of upgrades. Interested in that, but I wouldn't really consider it vital. Our guild, again, we could also reduce the cost of skill training. I'm more interested in reducing the cost of skill training than weapon and armor upgrades. Do we want to upgrade this? We actually don't have enough deeds to perform an upgrade, and I have no interest in spending. I mean, we have no upgrades for the bar, the brothel, or the gambling hall, but I don't really feel like we need to spend... I don't want to spend heirlooms on that at the right now. I think there are better ways for us to devote those. I also think there are better things for us to do than continue blabbering on when this episode is very clearly over, so I'll stop. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see the rise and return of Sophia Pelletier in not an undead form as she staggers out of a barn, might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.